House and Senate leaders will meet with President Trump today, with the government shutdown set to begin early Wednesday morning unless there's a deal. Join us right now, Pennsylvania Republican Senator Dave McCormick. Good morning to you. It's nice to see you, sir.
Morning.
So,
nice to see you.
Handicap where we really are at this point.
Well, listen, I think the Democrats are in a cul-de-sac. I think they are 12 months later taking a position that they're an irresponsible position, threatening to shut down the government, holding the government hostage based on a set of principles that are completely inconsistent with what they said a year ago, which is we have a clean continuing resolution. We need to keep the government running. I mean, I'm a business person. Only in government would you think of the idea of shutting down the government, the disruption for the taxpayers, the disruption for the military, the Border Patrol, the potential disruption for the economy. So this is terrible policy. It absolutely makes no sense to shut down the government. But the Democrats, in an effort, I guess, to show resistance to the fact that Republicans are moving forward on their agenda, are threatening to do that. And I think they're in a tough spot because Chuck Schumer, this will be his shutdown, has essentially made the threat, and now he's going to have to get back off the ledge. Right. Or we're going to have a shutdown, and unfortunately think it's more likely than not that we will.
We've seen this movie before, and oftentimes the clock ticks closer and closer to midnight, and invariably somebody blinks. In this case, it may very well be the Democrats. I don't know. But in terms of taking us behind the scenes, what is really the ask, do you think, and is there anything to offer as it relates to the ask from Republicans at this point?
Well, I mean, from my perspective, I don't think there's a lot to offer on the side of Republicans. Essentially, Republicans under the Biden administration supported continuing resolutions to keep the government running because we need to have good faith negotiations, which are underway through normal order and the appropriations process. What they've asked for, what the Democrats have asked for, is an increase of $1 trillion of additional spending. It's the ability to give health care to illegal immigrants. It's rolling back a lot of the things that were passed in the big, beautiful bill. So I don't think there's any pathway with those sorts of demands to get to a resolution. So I think they're going to have to back down, or we're going to have to shut down the government. And, this is something that I've said consistently. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Senator. There are some Republicans who are in favor of strengthening some of the health care supports because their states actually will be impacted pretty hard by this. I don't know if this is the time for it with the government shutdown in a day and a half.
That's right.
But there has been some discussion that 7 weeks out, you could see some Republican senators who very much want to see some, if not all, of what the Democrats are talking about when it comes to health care costs.
Yeah, we should have a very fulsome, and we are having a very fulsome and rich debate about those things. So I'm not speaking about whether there will be some Republicans who will support adjustments. What I am saying is that the way to do that is not to threaten to shut down the government and disrupt our entire country if you don't get what you want, and you're going to sort of step outside those good faith negotiations. So I suspect Republicans will be pretty united on the fact of moving forward on a clean continuing resolution. The president's been clear on that as well. I think given the stakes, I think it's very appropriate that the president and the leadership on the Republican side has offered to sit down with the Democrats. But unless they come back off this extreme position, I'm not very hopeful that we're going to avoid a shutdown. And I think it's a very irresponsible move on the part of Senator Schumer and the Democrats in the Senate.
Hey, Senator, before we let you go, I have two questions sort of just in the headlines, because you and I have talked about this a lot on the air over the years. We are near a deal. I don't know if we have a deal. I don't know what's going on with TikTok. And I'm curious, given that you've been very vocal about this over time, how you think about the way this transaction is ultimately landing and the fact that ByteDance is still going to own a big piece of this company.
Well, you know, there was a very specific legislation passed that essentially requires that the algorithm can't be in the hands of the Chinese. So I know that the president and the team were working towards that goal. I haven't seen all the specifics of the deal, but I think I stand by that principle, which is to have the Communist Chinese Party having control of the TikTok algorithm, given the impact on American society and our children, is unacceptable. This deal appears to be able to overcome that, and if it does, that's a great step forward.